Hey folks, and welcome to part 2 of my lesson on how to play Angelus by Elliott Smith. So hopefully you've already watched part 1 and you're getting fairly comfortable with the picking. I spent a lot of time with this song, and I feel like with an intro this intricate and pretty, I had to get it right. So I was very meticulous, and I think I got it pretty accurate, but let me know if you notice anything that's off, and I'll add comments in later pointing out any flaws. But let's get into it. We've got our capo on the 5th fret. Okay, and our first chord, if you remember, I'm calling an E minor 7 add 9. Okay, our pointer finger is on the 2nd fret of the A string, pinky on the 4th fret of the D string, open G string, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and middle finger on the 2nd fret of the high E string. Okay? And now let's just refresh ourselves on this picking. So our thumb is alternating between the low E string and the D string for this chord. Okay? And our middle finger belongs to the B string, and our ring finger belongs to the high E string for this chord. Alright? So, let's do this first measure, and it's just the very last note of the measure is a little bit different than in the last video, so just heads up there. So, we start with a thumb hit, thumb, and then our thumb and ring finger hit at the same time, then thumb, middle, thumb, then thumb and ring at the same time, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, and then middle again, but we're going to switch to an A chord now. Okay? So let's do that one more time. Thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, thumb and ring, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, switch to an A. Okay? Now, when Elliott switches to that A, it sort of dampens the hit with the middle finger, so just think subtle when you hit that note. Alright, so let's move to the next measure. We're still on that A, and now our thumb is alternating between the A and the D string, okay? So we've got thumb, thumb and middle, thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, thumb and ring, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, and on this thumb, with our left hand, we add our ring finger to the 4th fret of the D string. And then we take our pointer finger off for an open B string. So let's do that measure again. We've got on the A chord, thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, thumb and ring, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, add the ring finger, open B string. Okay, let's move to the next measure. Then we keep our ring finger of our left hand there, okay, and we are going to add our pointer finger to the 2nd fret of the A string, and our middle finger to the 3rd fret of the B string. Okay? I'm going to call that a B minor flat 6, okay? And our thumb is still alternating between the A and the D string, but now our middle finger moves to the G string and our ring finger moves to the B string for this chord, alright? So this measure starts the same pattern, so thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb. Okay, and now it's going to switch a little bit. Let's take our pointer finger of our left hand off for that open A string, and we hit our thumb and ring finger at the same time, And then we're used to hitting a middle finger now, but we're going to skip that and wait for our thumb to hit again on the D string, and then our ring finger goes. Okay, so let's just do those hits again. So thumb and ring, thumb, ring. Okay, now let's look at the next 4 hits. We've got our thumb again, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. Let's do those 4 again. Thumb, middle, thumb, ring. Okay, so the second half of that measure altogether is thumb and ring, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. Again, thumb and ring, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. Again, thumb and ring, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. One more time. Thumb and ring, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. Okay, let's move to the next measure. We're gonna, with our left hand, we leave our middle finger on that 3rd fret of the B string. We take our ring finger off and add our pointer finger to the 3rd fret of the E string for sort of a G chord, okay? So, we start with a thumb hit, and then our thumb for this chord is going to alternate between the low E string and the D string. And our middle finger is still going to belong to the G string, ring finger to the B string for this chord. So we've got a thumb hit, and then thumb and ring. Okay, and then we go thumb, middle, thumb, ring, and then we do it again. Thumb, middle, thumb, ring. And then we move our left hand pointer down to the 2nd fret of the E string, and it's thumb, middle, thumb, ring again. Okay, so let's do that measure again. We've got thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. Move your pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. One more time. Thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. Okay, let's move to the next measure. Slowly but surely, we're getting it. Now, we're going to go back to the beginning. We just sort of repeat what we've done so far. So that E minor 7, add 9. And it's the same thing. So thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb and ring, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, and then switch to the A with the ring. And then we've got that A chord measure. Thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb and ring, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, add your ring finger on the left hand, thumb, and then an open B. Then we've got this B minor flat 6 chord, right? And we've got the thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb and ring, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. Alright, and then this G chord again. And it starts out the same way, but it's going to end a little differently. So we've got thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. Okay, and then we go thumb, and our ring is going to jump to the high E string. And then we've got thumb on the D string, and middle is still on the G string. Okay, so let's do that one more time. thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring on the E string, thumb, middle. One more time. Thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring on the E, thumb, middle. Okay, and then we jump to, with our left hand, to an F sharp chord. Okay, and we go, our thumb is now alternating between the E string and the D string, and our middle finger is now on the B string and our ring finger on the E string. Okay, so we've got thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, and then thumb, we take our left hand off, basically, for an open D string. Okay, so let's do that one more time. So this F sharp chord, thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, open D. Okay, and then we go to an A chord. Alright, and we go thumb on the A string and ring finger on the high E string, thumb and ring, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, and then our thumb hits an open D string, so we take our left hand off, thumb, and then middle on the open B string. Okay, so let's do that whole measure a couple times more. So this F sharp chord, thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb on open D, A, open D, and open B. Again, F sharp chord, thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, thumb and ring, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, open, open. Okay, one more time. F sharp, thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, open thumb, A chord, thumb and ring, middle, thumb, ring, thumb, middle, open ring. Now let's move on to the next measure. We've got a G chord, okay, and our thumb is going to hit the E string, and then our thumb and ring, thumb on the D string, ring on the E string, okay, and then thumb and middle is going to be on the G string here, middle, thumb, okay, and then an open E string with the ring. So let's look at those hits again. So thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle on the G, and then thumb, open E string. Okay, and then let's do that one more time. Thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. And then we're going to hammer on to that a D chord. So, and we're going to hit with our thumb the D string. So we went, okay, and then we hit our thumb on the G string. For this D chord, our thumb's going between the D and G string. So we hit our thumb on the G string and our ring finger on the E string. And then our thumb goes back to the D string. And then our middle hits. And then our thumb. And then we take our left hand off and hit open E and B strings. Okay? So let's do that measure one more time. So we've got this G, thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring, D, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, open. One more time that measure. We've got the G, thumb, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, ring, D, thumb and ring, thumb, middle, thumb, open. Alright, then the next measure we hit an E chord, and this is where we actually start strumming instead of picking. So, an E chord with our left hand, and we first hit the open E string. Okay, and let me play this measure actually once for you. It goes. Okay, so let me do it one more time so you can hear the strumming. Okay, so we hit the open E string, and then we do a down strum, and then we go up, up, and hit the low E string again, and then we go down, up, and then we hit the low E string again, but add our middle finger to the 2nd fret, and then we strum it again, down, up. Okay, so let's do that again, nice and slow. E string, down, up, E, down, up, E, down, up. Again, E, down, up, E, down, up, E, down, up. One more time. E, down, up, E, down, up, E, down, up. Alright? And then we go to a G chord for the next measure, and we hit that low E string, and it's the same pattern of strumming basically. We go E string, down, up, E string, down, up, and then we take our middle finger of our left hand off for an open A string. And we're going to take our pinky off of the high E string and put our pointer finger onto the 2nd fret of the B string, okay? And this is really subtle. He doesn't play those strings very loudly at all. So really think subtle for this little change. But then we hit the A string, okay? And then a down strum. So let's do that measure again. So we've got, on the G chord, we hit the E string, down, up, E string, down, up, A string, down. Okay, one more time on that measure. On the G chord, E string, down, up, E string, down, up, A string, down. Okay, next measure we go back to the G chord and hit the E string, down, and then we go, we do a quick up strum, and then we just hit the D chord, the open D chord, and then we're going to do this little riff. Okay, so let me just play this one measure for you so you can hear it. Okay, so we go on the G chord, we hit the low E string, a down strum, a quick up strum, and then we hit the D string, and then with our middle finger we slide up to the 4th fret of the D string, and just pluck it with our thumb, I do. And then we move it down to the 2nd fret of the D string, and then we're going to pluck the A string. Okay? So let's do that measure again, nice and slow. On the G chord, we hit the E string, down strum, up, and then the D string, 4th fret, 2nd fret, open A. One more time, that measure. Low E string, down strum, up, D, 4th fret, 2nd, open A. Okay, now let's move on to the next measure, and we're going to do a B minor chord. And first we hit the A string, and we do, let me just play this measure. One more time. Okay, so B minor, we hit the A string first, and then a down strum, then a quick up strum, and then we just hit the D string, and then we go to an A chord, and we just hit the A string and do a down strum, then a quick up strum, and then take our left hand off and do an open D string. So again, we start with a B minor, hit the A string, down strum, up, hit the D string, and then an A, down strum, up strum, and an open D. One more time. B minor, A string, down, up D, A string, strum, up, open D. And then next measure, we're on to a G chord. Alright, and we just hit the low E string first. And for the rest of the song, pretty much, we're just going to play basically a bass line, and then we're going to fill in with strums on every 16th note. Okay? So it'll be like 1 and a 2 E and a. Okay? And some strums are a bit louder than others, but you can listen to the song and get a feel for it. Usually the first strum is definitely louder. Alright, so we're going to hit the low E string, and we're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up. Then we hit the E string again, and then we strum down, up, and then we hit the open A string, take our middle finger, left hand off, and we add our pointer to the 2nd fret of the B string like we did before, and we take our pinky off of the high E string. Okay, so we hit that open A string and do a down, up, and again, that's pretty subtle, so don't hit those strings very hard. Focus on the D and G strings there. Okay, so let's do that measure again. We're on the G, and we hit the E, down, up, down, up, down, up, E, down, up, A, down, up. One more time, that measure. E string, down, up, down, up, down, up, E string, down, up, A string, down, up. Okay, and then we move back to the G, and same thing, E string, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then we go E string, down, up, and then just hit the open D string. So that measure one more time. The low E string, down, up, down, up, down, up, E string, down, up, D string. Okay, And then we're to the verse, and we'll cover that in the next video. We'll do the whole rest of the song in the next video. But for now, let's just go through the whole thing nice and slow so you can practice it all together. So we're at that E minor 7 add 9, and I'm just going to play through nice and slow. So here we go. Alright, so that is the intro to Angelus. That's definitely going to take some time to perfect, but it's so worth it once you get it down. And join me for the next video on how to play the rest of the song. The rest is much easier than the intro. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you later.